Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, weird, wild world out there, and here we stand, folks, for the last time in 2022. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob Grams, that's the Natch, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Oh my God, friends, what a year, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón. Al pie del cañón, we are on the front lines of 2023, friends, and what a year we have had. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hopefully you're all well. If you want to join me live on today's show, the last live show for 2022, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian /professional bohemian. Good morning. Pedro from Instagram's here, for example. You could be as cool as Pedro from Instagram, if you wanted to be. You could so join us there to participate in the show live. I would greatly appreciate it. Buenos dias, bon dia, buongiorno. I say to you, Pedro from Instagram. How are you doing, Natch? Are you sad that it's coming to an end this year of Vaughan programming?
Well, to be sincere, it's only 2 weeks. So
yeah, it's only 2 weeks.
Yeah, and 1 week for me of holiday, so it's not that much.
Yeah, I've got 2 weeks, man. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to be on a plane heading to see Mama Bo. Oh, God, I can't wait. I need a break. I need a spiritual break more than I'm willing to admit. And you, on your week off, what have you got planned? Nothing, right? I imagine.
Nothing. Typical things, Christmas things. To see lights and go from, I don't know, Torrejón and a lot of places here in Madrid.
You're making me think, actually. It's a shame I didn't go and see the Christmas lights in Madrid this year. I'm not going to see them. I've missed them. Boo. The Bridge is here. Good morning, Bridge. I'm on holiday. I saw the messages on Instagram. Yeah. Well done. Congratulations. Enjoy those holidays. Enjoy those holidays. Not just to you, Bridge, to everyone who's listening, guys. It's a beautiful time of year. So today's show is, unapologetically, we're going to take a look at the year that we've had, look towards the year that's coming. So let me tell you what's coming up in today's show. In today's 100 Humans, I asked them, what is a popular New Year's resolution? I keep on saying, prometa? No, it's not prometa. No, don't tell me. Promesa? Go on, what is it?
Propósito.
Proposito, god damn it! My brain doesn't want to remember that word. So a popular New Year's resolution. That's today's 100 Humans. Then we're going to go to the news. The news is as silly as usual. We're going to look at a man who was arrested in Ontario. And we're also going to maybe do this World Cup news that has been 2 days we've been putting it off. So maybe we'll do the first time ever something happened at the World Cup. And that's in today's Complete the News. And that's all that fun is in the second half of the show, friends. All that fun is in the second half of the show. In the first half, coming up later on, we've got today's Unpopular Opinion, which is another one of mine. And it's a good one today. I think it's a good one anyway. It is Christmas is not a religious holiday. It is a secular one. Did you vote on this one, Natch? Did I see your name today?
No.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, most people on Instagram agreed. Yeah, but we'll get into that later on. Right now, I'm here, you're here, Natch is here, everyone's here. Let's look at the year we've had together this year. What do you reckon, Natch? So I'm going to go over some of the biggest stories that we've experienced together in 2022. I think probably the most important one was the cost of living crisis. I mean, coming from wherever it came from, I mean, a lot of people say, it's the Russian invasion of the Ukraine, which we'll get into later on. A lot of people said it's been coming for ages because of debt, national debt, and it was just a matter of time. But inflation has spiked, like just in the US, by the half point of the year, by June, it got up to inflation went up 9.1%, 11.1 in the UK in October. Like, UK are really suffering right now. I feel bad for my mum. I mean, you know, it's just a tough time. Have you noticed it in your wallet, in your day-to-day, Natch?
Yes, every time I go to the supermarket, it's incredible. It's at least 50% more.
Yeah.
At least.
I remember, like, before, when I lived alone before. No, I'm living alone again. When I lived alone before, I could do a week's shopping for, I don't know, 30, 40 euros. A full week's shop. I mean, let's be honest, I'm British. How much does a frozen pizza cost? And potatoes. But yeah, now, last weekend when I went to shop for this week, 60 euros, man. And just for me. And that's not to mention the energy, the energy bills, and how money's disappearing. Guys, in the chat, I would love your opinions on this. Join me live, twitch.tv/professional bohemian. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. I'll try and pay attention to that today. So yeah, the cost of living crisis has made us all feel the pinch, and especially this time of year at Christmas, where we're feeling that pressure to participate economically in the celebration. You know, there can be difficult times. There can be difficult times full of frustration. And we're with you guys. Everyone's suffering together. Just remember, this time of year is about charity and about being kind to one another. I think quite often the best act of kindness is to, you know, be empathetic, to put yourself in someone else's shoes, you know. What else happened this year? I'd like to shine a little light on something we haven't spoken about on the show ever. But the James Webb Space Telescope, the images that NASA released that just shook the world. For every newspaper and publication stopped the cycle of negativity for a moment to just experience the wonder of space through these amazing, eye-popping images sent back to us from the James Webb Space Telescope. Did you see any of those photos, Natch? Incredible, right? The colour and the immensity and the power of it all. I mean, really, when I see things like that, that's as close as I get to a religious experience, you know? Like, if you're a religious person, I assume, you know, you go to your place of worship on a Sunday, you sit there and you participate in the ritual and you feel uplifted, right? And if you don't feel uplifted, then maybe it's time to consider your belief system. For me, when I see the pictures from the James Webb Space Telescope, I'm number one. I'm just in shock and awe of the magnitude and the beauty and how untamed and wild the universe actually is in all its colour and splendour and immensity. How small and insignificant our little worries are in what is an ever-expanding universe. You know, that is, for me as an atheist, seeing these images from the James Webb Space Telescope was something that really put everything into perspective for me. Yeah, it's the most complex telescope ever built. It reached its destination in space in January of this year, after decades of planning. In July, astronomers were awed by the telescope's first image. God, I remember seeing it so clearly. I remember seeing it. It was just when we had to start. We came back. They were doing renovations in the office, and I had to start working and doing the show from home. And I remember I was on my big screen and I opened up this news article and I was just blown away by the colours and just the beauty of what exists in the universe. Of thousands of distant galaxies in the constellations, since then the US $10 billion observatory has captured a steady stream of spectacular images, and astronomers have been working feverishly on early data. Insights include observations of an exoplanet and leading contenders for the most distant galaxy ever seen. In all likelihood, the light that reaches us from that galaxy is millions of years old. It's just the universe is an enigma wrapped in a mystery, and it's just beautiful. And to me, that fills me as I imagine a church service would fill a religious person. I need to hit traffic now. We'll come back in 30 minutes. No worries, Pedro. What else happened in 2022? Well, of course, we mentioned before the cost of living crisis and the effects that a certain thing had on the world. And let's just spend just a few moments talking about the Russia invasion of Ukraine. Russia invaded the Ukraine. Do you remember when it started, Natch? It was supposed to be like, or leaders at the time were telling us it's going to be a week-long thing. It'll end. It's painful. We need to support the people of the Ukraine. It happened. It started on the 24th of February. And we're in December now. Dude, the Ukrainian people have shown a resilience and a spirit that is really, really uplifting. I think the Russian invasion of Ukraine shook the world to its core, because I think for the first time it was a war. For the first time in a long time, it was a war about expanding borders. And we as a race, we as a human race, I guess I thought prior to this that we'd gotten over that. No longer were we killing people in order to accumulate power and to expand the borders of our country. And I think that is what shook us so much. Why this felt different. And look what's happening. I mean, we're still very much in the midst of this thing, and there's still a lot of tragedy, and it has been a tragic event. But look, I mean, if you can't be uplifted by the Ukrainian people, the spirit and the tenacity that they're showing, then I don't know what will uplift you. I think it's amazing. Other sad news that happened in 2022, Natch, the US. The US in many ways sets the tone for the rest of the world, or it has classically. Certainly since the 40s and 50s. Would you agree with that statement, Natch? Yeah, right. Sadly, I feel like they took a little bit of a step back in June 24th to be specific this year, when the US Supreme Court overturned abortion rights. I don't want to go too deeply into this. I know everyone has their own feelings. Me personally, I believe in pro-choice. I think a woman should be able to dictate the future of her own body or what happens to it. But I respect you if you have problems with that. But it did feel like a real step backwards, taking that power out of the individual's hands and really, overturning the abortion rights. It was a sad thing to witness. In a controversial ruling on 24th of June, the U.S. Supreme Court revoked women's constitutional right to abortion, restoring the ability of individual states to determine a woman's reproductive rights. Now, in some states, it hasn't been a problem. In others, things have moved quite far backwards. And I respect you if you're not a pro-choice person, you're pro-life, as they say. I respect that. But for me personally, that felt like a big deal. And for you, I suppose, if you are pro-life, it was a big piece of news for you in the opposite way. I guess it was happy news for you. What else happened? Record-breaking heat waves. Dude, Nat, do you remember the miserable goddamn summer we all had? Jeez Louise, record-breaking heat waves and droughts around the world. Here in Europe, we suffered the worst drought in 500 years. Let that sink in. 500 years. I mean, geez Louise. Climate change has led to many record-breaking temperatures around the world, from runways melting to devastating wildfires in the States. Here in Spain too, right? There were wildfires, I believe. Quite a few in the southern area of Spain. No country was safe from the extreme levels of heat experienced this year. And Europe experiencing its worst drought in 500 years. 2/3 of the continent experienced some sort of heat warning. Just let that, geez, guys, recycle, man. Oh, dear. In China, factories were forced to shut down in August due to the decreased water levels. Yeah. This is something the whole world has suffered in. Geez Louise, guys, yeah. Let's hope we can turn this around, because it looks like the climate is changing. Whether you believe it's a man-made crisis or not. I personally do believe it's a man-made crisis, because I look at the data rather than listen to opinion. So whether you believe in it's a man-made disaster, this climate catastrophe that we're all experiencing, or not, I think this year more than any other, we have all been impacted by the changing temperatures. And whether you're a climate denier or not, I think it's clear that that something needs to be done, right? So let's see if 2023 brings us any closer to some kind of solution. What else happened this year, Natch? The Queen Elizabeth II, my monarch. Queen Liz. We're on first name terms, Natch. I've seen her signature. She sent a letter to my grandma when she turned 100. Liz passed away. Queen Elizabeth II died at Balmoral Castle in Scotland on the 8th of September 2022. Handing over the reins to Charlie, the man who hates pens. What an odd bird. Let's see where all this goes. But yeah, it was the whole world seemed to mourn. The whole world seemed to mourn for the death of the British monarch. A weird phenomenon, because I don't know if any other country's monarch would command so much respect from the rest of the world. Do you know what I mean? I mean, in England, it made a lot of sense to me that people were queuing and there was a lot of sadness expressed. But really, the whole world united around Queen Elizabeth, her passing, and I think it was a beautiful thing. Cold End is here. They didn't overturn any abortion law because there was no law. Well, they overturned Roe versus Wade, right? That was God, what do you call it it was a legal precedent, all right? Law scholars had been warning that the right to abortion was judicial overreach and was based on fragile decision. Knowing this, our legislature failed to act for 50 years. Now, maybe they will actually take action to affirm it as a constitutional right. Let's hope so, Cold End. Let's hope so. And welcome to the show, my dude. Welcome to the show. Wow, you're joining us on this show, Cold End, right at the end of the years. So normally we're having a little bit more zany fun than this. And okay, last thing that I'd like to highlight that happened this year. The world population exceeded 8 billion in November. They say exactly the 15th of November. I think personally that is almost impossible to know. There's no one out there counting, right, and compiling data. Like there are kids being born in the backwoods of nowhere that aren't being counted, I'm sure. But anyway, the 15th of November 2022, the world surpassed 8 billion people. The world reached its first landmark of 1 billion in 1803. And over 200 years later, on the 15th of November, it surpassed 8 billion people. And apparently, this from now begins a slowdown in increasing population, and we begin to we begin, I mean, over the next 50-60 years we'll begin to see population reducing, and let's hope so. There's too many of us. Jeez, you look at Madrid Metro. If you've ever been on the underground in Madrid, you'll agree with me, too many humans, man. There's too many of us. All right, guys, that was 2022. 2022. And friends, it has been an absolute pleasure to be here with you in 2022 to talk about all this news and all these activities and all these things that have gone on. Like I say, it's a big, weird, wild, dangerous world, folks. All right, let's go to an unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
How are we doing? Nuria Tam joining us in the chat for the last show of the year. How are you doing, Nuria Tam? Welcome. All right. Yeah. Guys, an unpopular opinion. What is an unpopular opinion? It's a brain fart of mine, un pedo cerebral, and I share it with you guys on my social media, namely on Instagram, @professionalbohemian, @professionalbohemian. Okay? You can find me there, and in my stories, you'll find every day, or at least every day from January the 6th, when I get back from holiday, you'll see an unpopular opinion. You can vote on it there, and then we talk about it live in the show the next day. Yesterday's pedo mental, my brain fart was Christmas is not a religious holiday. It is a secular holiday. How do you feel about that, Natch?
Yeah, definitely it's not anymore a religious holiday.
I'm curious to know how people would have answered this 50 years ago. You know? Probably very, very differently. Yeah, we've experienced a cultural shift, and I'm going to make the argument that, yes, indeed, Christmas is not a religious holiday anymore. And you know what? People on Instagram voted, they agreed 74%. So it was by a very high degree that this is not an unpopular opinion today. So I'd be interested if you believe that it is still a religious holiday. I would be interested in your opinion. You can join me here live on the show, twitch.tv/professionalbohemian, or on Twitter, @PROBOH, @PROBOH. Okay, so why is Christmas not a religious holiday? I mean, it used to be. Okay, it used to be. It was a religious holiday. It was a pagan holiday, right? Pagans. Let's start with Roman paganism. During this point of the year, from December 17th to 24th, Romans celebrated a pagan festival called Saturnalia, dedicated to the god Saturn. And it was a week of revelry and parties, where people would drink and eat lavishly and give presents to one another. What does that sound like to you, Natch? Sounds a little bit like Christmas to me. Sounds a little bit like Christmas. Pagans would worship the trees in the forest and even bring them into their house, decorate them. Celts and Nordic people, for example, our tradition of the mistletoe. I don't know if this exists in Spain, where you hang a mistletoe. It's a little like white berry on leaves. You hang it up, and if it's over your head, you have to kiss the person.
We know the tradition, but it's not common in Spain.
Well, believe it or not, Jesus didn't invent that tradition. That was Celtic and Nordic pagans. Yeah. Ivy was a symbol of Bacchus, the Roman equivalent of Dionysus, the god of wine, fertility, and ritual. Ivy is symbolic of eternal life, very much as the pagan festival. I mean, they celebrated the shortest day of the year as the rebirth of the sun. Okay, so the day would be, you'd experience the shortest day of the year, and you'd celebrate the rebirth of the new sun and a new year. It was a time of renewal and change and thinking about the year that had passed. What does that sound like, Natch? Sounds like Christmas. Sounds like Christmas. Traditional Christmas colors like green and red represent fertility. So what happened? Why did people think it's a Christian holiday? Or why did people think it was a Christmas holiday or a religious holiday? Well, number one, Jesus wasn't even born on December 25th. A Roman historian called Julius Africanus. Oh my God, yeah, I did my research today, Natch. Dated Jesus' conception on March 25th. So early Christians adopted this pagan holiday and basically stole it from them. Chose to keep certain traditions, mold certain traditions into the Christian dogma to make it more easier to adopt for new Christians. Oh, well, look, this is exactly the same as our old celebration. Cool End says, Christmas is not a religious holiday. How would they have answered it 50 years ago? I think John Lennon found out that is one in the US. Meanwhile, I do agree with you because how much the economy props it up. You can actually see the impact in GDP when things like Black Friday don't go well. Exactly. And Christmas too, the same deal. So yeah, just like Christians stole it from the pagans, capitalism stole it from the Christians. And that's my unpopular opinion. I'm going to drop a poll in the chat. I would like you to vote because you're the ones that tell me, is Christmas a religious holiday? True or false? All right, guys. See you in a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, ProBoh. Okay, on with the show. Welcome back to the show, guys. You're listening to the ProBoh Show live at 9 a.m. Central European Time. How are you doing, friends? Welcome. If you're joining us live in the chat, just like Nuriatam, Cool End, Pedro from Instagram, The Bridge, all you guys, how you doing? I know there's a lot more of you watching than there is participating. Nervous. Don't be a lurker, man. Say hi. Say hi. Okay, so what did you miss if you just tuned in? We spoke about, in the first half, we did a little recap of 2022, some of the biggest news stories, some of which we covered, some of which we didn't. And to my shame, I would have really enjoyed speaking more about most of them. But, we've got to kind of keep things pretty light in the show, but it was good to take the opportunity today to maybe speak a little bit more seriously with you all about some of the big events that happened. And then we went on to today's unpopular opinion, being Christmas is not a religious holiday. So I was talking a little bit about the history of Christmas, it being a pagan holiday, then it being adopted by the Christian faith. Even changing the date of Jesus' birth to adapt to the Roman god, the Roman festival of Saturnalia, and then we had to stop. But I'm going to continue now because what's happened over the last I want to say maybe since the 20s is that it's then been adopted. It's become a capitalist festival of spending, right? That stress, going out, buying gifts. Jeez Louise. Is there any really religious tradition? I suppose if you're a religious person, one of the few that are left, it feels like in the world, you're going to go to church that day. But you're also participating much, way more in what is the other side of Christmas, which is essentially just gift giving, gift buying. It's not like it's a secular holiday now. The traditions don't really mean anything anymore. They're just traditions. You know what I mean? It's as much of a religious holiday as Valentine's Day is a religious holiday. Yeah, it's named after a saint, Saint Valentine. What, are you going to church on Valentine's Day, or are you going to a restaurant? You know what I mean? You're not going to church. You're going to a restaurant with your partner, and that's nothing to do with religion. Just like Christmas, very little to do with religion. Meeting your family, sharing drinks, having a good time, being retrospective about the year, buying gifts, sharing gifts, putting up Christmas lights, touring the city. None of which is a religious activity, folks. Going to church, praying, those are religious activities. How much of that do you do at Christmas? Maybe a few of you a lot, but not many of you, I would imagine. Okay, let's see what people are saying. Good morning. It's a stressful season running to buy gifts. Yeah, absolutely. Nuriatam. And that's what children learn. Exactly. You know, the more it's become or strayed away from religion and become more of a secular thing. That's what kids learn. Kids worship Santa Claus at Christmas or the three kings here in Spain and in Italy. They don't worship Jesus. Jesus isn't the one coming down the chimney. Do you know what I mean? It's not, I mean, I can't believe, my mind is blown that anyone would think it's a religious festival now. How the poll is phrased makes it difficult to agree with. I would say that the organised religious element is receding, but one could argue that family tradition and unity are more human and relatable religious component. I disagree. I mean, well, okay, it's hard to completely disagree because, yes, you know, marriage, children, it sounds on the surface, you know, kind of religious dogma-ish, right? But, you know, if it was the case, you know, homosexual couples are celebrating Christmas. Homosexual families. You know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with religion anymore. It's a family thing. Yeah, I get it. It is. But kids are worshipping Jesus. You know what I mean? They're worshipping Santa. And he's a pagan. If anything, he's a pagan deity. But because as that kind of pagan roots, as those pagan roots have died, we're left with a skeletal structure of a celebration that really has little to nothing to do with religion or faith or anything. And I'm happy with that, man. I'm happy with that. It doesn't need to be a religious thing for me to enjoy it. In fact, it helps that it's not. All right, let's continue. Dolores is here. Christmas is the apotheosis of consumerism. Oof. Can we get a nivelazo for Dolores? My God.
Nivelazo.
A fun fact about Saturnalia is that slaves and masters would switch roles just a bit so they could unleash their wildest desires. True story. I do know that about Saturnalia. Thank you for sharing, Pedro. Let's get a ProBoh approved for Mr. Pedro here.
ProBoh approved.
All right. Good morning. How are you doing, Dolores? Minnie's here. No, I missed the vote. Over here, it absolutely has nothing to do with Christianity anymore. Here neither. I mean, come on. I mean, all the Mediterranean countries are, I would imagine, the most religious countries in Europe. I would say that. But, I mean, even here in Spain or in Italy, it's got very little to do with religion anymore. You know? It's got more to do with Coca-Cola now than it does with the Christian church. You know what I mean? Anyway, whatever. Let's continue. Is it though? I think that consumerism is a usurpation of the holiday, similar to how Christianity did the same thing. Organized institutions attempting to ride the wave of a very Stone Age impulse to come together and celebrate that winter did not kill us. And we revere our own family traditions. Wow, this is a great point by Cool End here. And I can 100% agree. Because, yeah, consumerism has usurped what was a very Christian role, as Christianity usurped Christmas from the pagans. But that usurpation has happened, and we're living in this community and this consumerism as right now. You know, we're not going to church. I mean, I'm not watching. The vast majority of people who celebrate Christmas are not doing so in religious fervor. And even if they are, even if they spend that time on Christmas Day in church or they're watching a service on TV, that is just a minuscule part of the whole affair. Arguably, Christmas maybe was always more of a family tradition than it was a religious tradition. Maybe you're right about that. But even so, still not a religious celebration then, is it? Maybe it has a religious component. You know, I would say my mobile phone is more than a speaker, but a component of it is a speaker. I wouldn't call it a speaker. It's not a speaker. It's a phone. Anyway, let's continue. Pedro says, Christmas is mostly an adaptation to Christianity of Saturnalia. It's called syncretismo in Spanish. Winter's barely begun, though, except the pagan Christmas. Yeah, well, pagan Christmas, the pagan solstice celebration was to celebrate the rebirth of the sun, not to celebrate that we survived winter. If anything, arguably, that would have been the Easter celebration, right? All right. Okay, well, there we go. The vote, I think the last time I saw it, I didn't check it out at the end, it was 50-50, Natch. It was 50-50. Oh, I did better before explaining it. But anyway, with that said, guys, that's the end of today's unpopular opinion. If you want my honest view on this, not trying to be polemic or controversial, who cares, man? Who cares if it's a religious thing, if it's not a religious thing, if it's a consumerist thing, not a consumerist thing, if it's a pagan thing, if it's not a pagan thing. One thing that is true about Christmas is that it's a beautiful time of year that gives us all the excuse to be nicer to each other, to be kinder to each other, to be more charitable. And whether it's a religious, pagan, or secular celebration, that is definitely something to get on board with. And that is my final thought. Let's go to 100 Humans. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys, and on that walk, I encountered 100 humans. And I asked them all a question. Today's question is... one second. What is a popular New Year's resolution? Can you believe I've forgotten the word again, Natch? Propósito del año nuevo. Thank you. Nivelazo. Thanks, Natch.
Vaya nivelazo.
Okay. So what is a popular New Year's resolution? I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the 7 most popular answers here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. And just a big welcome to Cool End, who's joining us for the first time in the show, just as we were about to take a break for Christmas. Who's really contributed very, very well. Well done. All right, anyway, let's continue. So I asked them to name a popular New Year's resolution. Natch, what are your feelings on this?
Quit smoking.
To quit smoking. No, would agree with you. The Bridge would agree with you. Rafelka would agree with you. Quit smoking. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done, Natch. But it is not the number one answer, my friend. It's not the number one answer. It is the number 2 answer, with 20 of 100 humans saying they would quit smoking as a New Year's resolution. So it is very popular, not the most popular. All right, what else do we have? Pedro, Min, Nuriatam, and The Bridge all say to lose weight. Perder peso, to lose weight. Quit smoking, dejar de fumar, right? Lose weight. Perder peso. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Well done. Min, Pedro, Nuriatam, Bridge. It's the number 1 answer. Well done, you angelic souls, you. It's there. It's the number 1 answer. 51 of the 100 humans said a popular New Year's resolution, propósito del año nuevo, is to lose weight. All right, there are still 5 more answers to go. Let's see. Less drinking. To drink less. Natchy's shaking his head in the studio now. Wrong. Bad New Year's resolution. To drink less. That one's from Min. To drink less. Is it there? To quit drinking. Yes, it is. Well done. Oh my God, you guys. Well done, Min. You guys are on fire today. Quit drinking. 5 of the 100 humans said to quit drinking is a popular New Year's resolution. Okay, Cold End says to get your finances in order. To get your finances in order. I'm going to read that as to save money. Because it fits my narrative. I'm going to read that as to save money. Don't judge me. To save money, or to get one's finances in order. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Jeez Louise. Cold End, as far as I'm aware, never been to the show before, and he's killing it today. Or she's killing it today. They are killing it today. Okay, 3 of 100 humans, 7th place. Well done, Cold End, to save money. All right, let's see what else. To be a better person. Oof, to be a better person. Man, absolutely. That is the only New Year's resolution that counts, isn't it? To be a better person, is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. All right, next, let's continue. To be on time for the ProBoh Show. To be on time for the ProBoh Show. It is like the number one thing that you should all be promising. All right, there you go. Sadly, it's not there. The 100 humans don't agree, but it is the most important one. To take more time for yourself or more time off of work. To take more time for yourself. Is it there? No, it's not. Sorry. But well done. Well done. That was the first incorrect answer. Okay, Dolores says, in Spain, to learn English. To learn English in Spain, yeah, it is a popular New Year's resolution. But maybe we can open the umbrella a little bit and just say to do better, to educate ourselves, right? To educate ourselves, to do better in school, let's say. Is it there? Yes, it is! To improve our education, to learn something, to do better in school, whatever. It's there. It's with 6 of 100 humans said to do better in school, to focus on education. There's just one more left, and I am so surprised that no one's got this. It's a classic. It's a classic. In Spain to live, I just have one this year. To live in the moment, says the bridge. Oof, that is a good one. But is it there? No, it's not. Sorry. Not there. Min says to overthrow the government of a small nation state in order to kickstart plans of world chaos. Is it there? You know what, Nat? Surprisingly, no, it's not. It's my New Year's resolution every single year. I haven't managed to do it yet. Or quit smoking. To enjoy life more, says Dolores. No, not there. Not there. Okay, to get laid, says Pedro. Not there either. Yeah, I mean, they should be lifting the furniture. Okay, right, here we go. It's a classic. When you go to the gym in January, there's never any space. Why is that? Go on, Natch, tell them.
To work out.
To work out, to do some exercise. Yes, it's there. Well done. Well done. Good job, guys. Good job. All right, let's go through the list. In position number 7. When I asked 100 humans to name a popular New Year's resolution, the 7th most popular answer with 3 of 100 humans was to save money. In position number 6 was to be a better person, with 4 of 100 humans saying that. In position number 5 was to quit drinking. Quit drinking or to, control your drinking more. In position number 4 was to do better in education, to learn something, to do better in school. In position number 3 was exercise, to get some exercise, do some exercise, start working out, join a gym. In position number 2 was to quit smoking. Quit smoking. And in position number 1, well done to all of you, said it was to lose weight. I thought that was including in losing weight. No, eating better. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. The 100 humans are the 100 humans. They make their own decisions. All right, let's go to complete the news.
Complete the news.
Oh my God, Natch, we're doing well for time today. We might actually get through both of these. All right, here we go. First, how does complete the news work? I'm going to give you a news headline, but I'm going to leave off some important information. Then I'll give you 3 options, A, B, or C. With those 3 options, you, my friends, will complete the news. Okay, so here we go. First news headline, titular, is Ontario in Canada, Ontario man arrested after attempting to fight blank. Ontario man arrested after attempting to fight blank. All right, my friends. If you're one of the people watching the show that isn't interacting, this is your moment. All you have to write is A, B, or C. Here we go. Ontario man arrested after attempting to fight blank. Is it A, a moose? A moose? I don't know how you say moose in Spanish, Natch. I'm gonna wait. Wait, are you gonna search?
Like an arce, maybe?
Yeah, a massive
alce,
with a weird antlers.
I think it's an
arce. Okay. Okay, so is it A, a moose? Is it B, Justin Trudeau? Or is it C, a tree? Ontario man arrested after attempting to fight blank. Is it A, a moose, B, Justin Trudeau, or C, a tree? Alfie, thank you, Pedro. Double confirmed. All right, here we go. Ontario man arrested after attempting to fight blank. A, a moose, B, Justin Trudeau, C, a tree. What do you think, Natch?
I would love it to be C.
A tree?
Yeah.
Just because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not as, I mean, for me, a moose is more ridiculous. A moose, have you seen the size of those things? Anyway. Wow, everyone is saying C except for Dolores. I salute you, who says B, Justin Trudeau. Okay, let's get a drum roll, Natch. Ontario man is arrested after attempting to fight a tree. You know, you asked. You asked, and there it is. The Bridge said A. Thank you, Bridge. Sorry, I saw that too late. He was attempting to fight Justin Trudeau while astride a moose wielding a tree. He's my hero. Okay, so this news coming from CTV News in Canada. In what was probably a losing battle from the beginning, one Sarnia man in Huron County in Ontario made an arrest late last week after police found a young man trying to fight a tree while intoxicated, while drunk. I love it. Some Canadian dude drunk throwing fists at a tree. Oh, amazing. Another outstanding contribution from Canadians to the world. Exactly. Outstanding. Oh, dude. All right, there you go. That's the first one. Oh, finally, Natch. We're going to go to some World Cup news. You know how much I love football. Here we go. For the first time ever, blank at the World Cup. For the first time ever, blank World Cup. Not at the World Cup. That's just something I added. So for the first time ever, blank World Cup. Is it more people watch the match on social media than on TV? A. More people watch the matches on social media than on TV. Is it B? It's the first time no British fans were arrested. God save our gracious Queen. Nah, don't laugh. You encourage me. Or is it C? It was perceived an overall declining interest as the tournament continued. So the declining interest in the tournament and in football in general. So is it, for the first time ever, blank World Cup, is it A, more people watch the matches on social media than on TV? Is it B, no British fans were arrested, first time ever? Or is it C, an overall perceived decline in interest in football and the tournament? Woo! Which one is it? A, B, or C? What do you think, Natch?
I'm going to say A.
A. More people watched it on social media than TV. Nuria Tam agrees with you. B is up there as well. No British fans were arrested. B, please, says Pedro. The Bridge says B. There was no alcohol allowed, so it has to be B, says Min. Let's get a drum roll, Natch. love this piece of news. For the first time ever, no British fans were arrested at the World Cup. Don't know about you, Natch. Seems like King Charles is getting things in order. There were no arrests. This is coming from USA Today. There were no arrests among fans of England or Wales at the World Cup in Qatar, according to UK's football policing lead. There you go. Good. It's good to be British. Good to be British. We're finally trying to rectify our awful reputation in the rest of the world when it comes to football. My God. All right, guys. Well, we're coming towards the end of the show, and an end of a year's worth of ProBoh shows. I don't know when you discovered us or the show or what it is we do here, but I am so immensely grateful. So if I can leave you with some final thoughts for 2023, what would they be? I guess what I would wish for you is serenity, courage, and wisdom. And that makes me think of the prayer of serenity. Which, oh God, how does it go? It makes me think of the prayer of serenity, which is something like, God, give me the serenity to live with the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Guys, it's been a wild world out there, as I say at the top of every show. And it's been a pleasure to pick it apart with you every single day. You guys rock. I am so grateful and so humbled to be joined every day by you guys. Amazing job. And I will see you all again in 2023. Guys, there is a lot of things you could have been doing this year. But instead of doing those things, you decided to take the time to spend some time with me. And it means the absolute world. It's an honor. See you in 2023.